Hi, I'm Peter B. Parker from Earth 616. Watch me as I digest this cheeseburger from Earth 1610. Upon its entry into my mouth, the cheeseburger becomes crushed into tiny pieces by my teeth, a process formerly known as mastication. My tongue also aids in this process. My saliva contains the enzyme amylase, released from salivary glands in my mouth. Amylase breaks complex carbohydrates, which are primarily found in the bun of the cheeseburger, into primarily simpler carbohydrates and disaccharides. This whole process transforms the formerly known cheeseburger into a semi-liquid substance known as bolus. Once I'm finished masticating, my tongue aids in deglutition, known as the swallowing of bolus. From here, the bolus enters my pharynx, where my epiglottis prevents the bolus from traveling down the trachea. Instead, it directs the bolus into my esophagus, a long tube that continuously contracts the bolus, a process referred to as peristalsis. The end of my esophagus connects to the superior opening of my stomach, which is surrounded by the cardia. The bolus falls into the gastric juices of my stomach, composed of both pepsin and hydrochloric acid. In addition to the cardia, my stomach consists of 4 notable landmarks: the fundus, the body, the pylorus, and the rugae. The fundus is the rounded, tall section of the stomach located lateral to the cardia. The body is the central portion of the stomach, consisting of 3 layers of smooth muscle tissue. The pylorus located medially and inferior to the cardia and connects the stomach to the small intestine. Lastly, the rugae, small ridges on the mucosa, allow for distension, the process wherein the stomach expands to signal fullness to my brain. During its time in the stomach, the bolus becomes digested further. Pepsin, an enzyme, engages in the breakdown of proteins in my stomach into peptides, while hydrochloric acid helps kill bacteria that may have entered my body. Digestion in the stomach, however, goes beyond chemical digestion alone. The smooth muscles of my stern the bolus and mix it with hydrochloric acid to form a liquid substance called chyme. My stomach also possesses 2 distinct sphincters, the cardioesophageal sphincter and the pyloric sphincter. The cardioesophageal sphincter is located at the superior opening of the stomach where bolus enters the stomach, while the pyloric sphincter is located at the inferior opening of the stomach, where chyme leaves the stomach. The cardioesophageal and pyloric sphincters act as entrances and exits to the stomach, respectively, closing and opening when needed. Digestion in the stomach typically lasts for 3 to 4 hours, but I'm no normal human. As Spider-Man, my metabolism is extremely fast. As a result, digestion in my stomach does not take nearly as long. Usually, we would be waiting for hours for the pyloric sphincter to reopen. But thanks to my quick digestion, we can move on hastily. Let's talk about some organs that aid in my digestion, but don't directly digest anything. My pancreas is located posterior to my stomach. It's a semi-long, cracked-looking organ that is both an exocrine and endocrine gland, secretes digestive juices filled with enzymes such as amylase, carboxypeptidase, and lipase into my small intestine. Amylase breaks down polysaccharides into more simple carbohydrates. Carboxypeptidase breaks down peptides into amino acids, and lipase breaks down triglycerides into fatty acids and glycerol. The liver is one hell of an organ. Located in the upper right quadrant, the liver is the largest internal organ in the body and the second largest overall, second only to the skin. In addition to filtering blood coming from the digestive tract, detoxifying chemicals, and metabolizing drugs, the liver produces a substance known as bile, which emulsifies fats and aids in digestion. The gallbladder is inferior to the liver. It's a small, pear-shaped sac that stores bile. Now let's move on to where the majority of digestion happens: the small intestine. Mechanical and chemical digestion occur in the small intestine. The small intestine has 3 main parts: the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. Let's go through them one by one. The duodenum is the first and shortest region of the small intestine. Once chyme leaves my stomach via the pyloric sphincter, it enters my duodenum. The duodenum is the final site of macromolecule breakdown pancreatic enzymes and bile breakdown carbohydrates, proteins and fats into their simplest forms, monosaccharides, amino acids, and glycerol fatty acids, respectively. The jejunum is the middle section of the small intestine. With a length of approximately 1 meter, the jejunum is where nutrient absorption occurs. The monomers that were formed in the duodenum are absorbed here. The small intestine also features small, finger-like projections known as villi. The presence of villi allows for a greater surface area for absorption into the bloodstream. The ileum is the final and longest part of the small intestine, stretching over 2 meters. The ileum is responsible for the absorption of B12 vitamins and bile salts. The small intestine also features segmentations that are responsible for mechanical digestion, where localized mixing contractions occur. After chyme leaves my ileum, it enters my large intestine. Chemical and mechanical digestion. Along with peristalsis, bacteria feed any remaining carbohydrates and release gases. Proteins are broken down past amino acids and bilirubin is broken down, creating a brown color. Chyme first enters the cecum, a small, 6-centimeter pouch at the beginning of the large intestine. From the cecum, chyme passes through the ascending, transverse, descending, and sigmoid colon, where water absorption occurs. For a normal human, chyme remains in the large intestine for anywhere between 3 to 10 hours. Water is absorbed, forming solid semisolid feces. Feces are a combination of water, inorganic salts, sloughed off epithelial cells, and undigested indigestible materials. Once the feces enters the rectum, the anal canal and sphincter prevent the feces from slipping out. That would certainly be a problem. Nerves on the rectum and sphincter let my brain know when it's time to take a number 2.